This video will explain the pit stop process during races at Bushnell Motorsports Park for teamed events. Pit stops can be driver changes or double stints. The 40-second pit stop will include a kart swap and a driver change. BMP does not tell you when to stop. It is up to your team and your strategy to ensure that you get the minimum number of pit stops required during the race. First, I will explain driver weights. Then we will go into detail about the actual pit stop process. For most endurance races at BMP, drivers are weighted up to 200 pounds. When you check in for the race, you will be weighed in at the front counter. If you weigh more than 200 pounds, no additional weight will be carried. If you weigh less than 200 pounds, you will need to add weight to your cart. The blue weights are 22 pounds. The yellow weights are 8. The green weights are 4 pounds. Select the weights that get you to the minimum of 200 pounds. If you weigh less than 140 pounds, just add as much weight to the cart as possible, which is 2 blues and 2 yellows. If you drive during the race without the minimum weight required, there will be a 1 lap per missing pound penalty. It is your responsibility during the pit stop to load and unload the weight from your cart. If you leave the grid without your weight and you return to the grid on the same lap and put the correct weight in, no additional penalty will be given. Now that we've covered the weights, we will go into details about the actual pit stop process, first from the driver's point of view, then from the new driver's responsibilities. It is recommended that your team bring some sort of flagging system, maybe a pit board or a t-shirt to wave, something to signal your teammates that it is time for a pit stop. It is also important that the driver has a way to signal to his teammates that he is coming in for a pit stop. This ensures that the next driver is always ready, waiting on the grid. Two-way communication devices are allowed in BMP endurance races. When it is your time for your pit stop, put your hand up to notify other drivers that you are making a pit stop this lap. This should be done coming towards the pits starting near the round building. After the chicane, stay to the right side of the track using the outside line of the last turn exiting the track onto the pit road. Once you get onto pit road, the white line designates the start of pit road and the walking speed limit is enforced. BMP track attendants should be able to walk slowly next to you to take off your transponder box. Non-walking speed drivers will not be warned. Your pit stop hold time will be increased on the first offense. Pull into the line of carts and stop. If you are doing a driver change, remove your weight and return it to the weight cart on your left. If you are double stinting, take your weight to the first cart in line of the grid. A BMP track attendant will remove your transponder box with your team's wristband and put it on the next cart your team will be driving. To exit the grid, walk to the front of the grid on the left side. Wait until it is safe and then cross into the fence opening back towards the building. Do not duck under the railing at any time. When you are the next driver to race for your team, make sure you are prepared. Have your helmet on and any other racing gear you will be using. Make sure everything is tight and ready to go prior to the cart coming in. First, you will check in with the BMP track attendant who is counting pit stops. You will stand by the pit stop counter until your teammate comes into the pits and stops their cart. It is your responsibility to check in with BMP attendants and make sure they have noted your pit stop. Any team without the minimum required pit stops noted by the BMP staff at the end of the race results in a 4-lap penalty per missing stop at the end of the race. Once you are checked in, wait until your teammate stops the cart before entering the front of the grid. You will then cross the grid to the weight cart and pick up any necessary weight. The BMP staff will move the transponder box with your team's wristband on it to your new cart. Place the weight in your new cart and get in. Make sure you are getting in the cart with your team's wristband. You do not want to drive for someone else's team. BMP staff will be timing your pit stop. You will have plenty of time to execute all needed steps in making a pit stop. Most racers have extra time in the cart prior to the 40-second limit expiring. Stay safe, there's no need to run and trip and fall getting into a cart. Do not yell or scream at the BMP staff timing the pit stops. The more antsy you look, the slower the clock gets. At the end of 40 seconds, you will be released from the pits to rejoin the race. It is your responsibility to rejoin and merge in a safe and practical manner that does not interfere with anyone's progress on the racing surface. If you merge unsafely, causing another driver to deviate from the racing line, your team will be immediately penalized on the computer by the removal of 1 lap. There will be no warnings given for this. As a side note, a driver who is on the track also has a responsibility to avoid and prevent any accidents caused by an unsafe merge. The penalty will still be given to the new driver's team who merged unsafely, but it is your responsibility to avoid an accident. A small hindrance of a few seconds because you had to slow down is better than 2 broken karts or a 30-second spin out. We will not give you back any time lost for an improper merge on the track. If multiple drivers enter the pits at the same time, the first team will get in the first kart on the grid, the second team will get into the second kart, and so on down the line. If you pull in for a pit stop and there are no karts in line, your team will stay in its current kart. Once karts become available, the rotation will restart again.